his arm, and his speed have given the Orioles something extra to think about. Who'll be the hero of Game 6? Well, we'll find out as NBC Sports, a service of NBC News, presents Game 6 of the 1971 World Series. The National League champs, the Pittsburgh Pirates, versus the American League champions, the Baltimore Orioles. Brought to you by Phillips 66, the Performance Company. At Phillips 66, it's performance that counts. By Chrysler Corporation, extra care in engineering. Your host today, your local Dodge dealer. And by the two-bladed razor, the new Gillette Track 2 twin-blade cartridge shaving system. Hi, everybody. Kurt Gowdy of NBC Sports. Chuck Thompson, the telecaster of the Baltimore Orioles. And down on the field will be NBC's Tony Kubek. It's cloudy today here in Baltimore. The weather's warm, and the cloudy day should help the hitters here with the White House background that we have in Baltimore. And, of course, the Orioles now are up against it. And there's no doubt about it, Pittsburgh has taken the play away from Baltimore. Over at Pittsburgh, the Pirates were more aggressive at the plate. The Orioles were taking too many pitches. The Pirates much more aggressive on the bases. And you know, the longer you're around sports, you realize you can't go by the book. Everybody said the Orioles were by far the superior fielding team. I thought I was watching Hannes Wagner and Pie Traynor over there in that Pittsburgh infield on Thursday, as the Pirates have been a much better fielding team. No alibi by the Orioles. They admit they have been outplayed, and they say we've got to do it ourselves here today. Let's take a look now at the starting pitchers. And it's up to Bob Moose and Jim Palmer. There's Bob Moose this year. He won 11 games. He lost 7. He won his last 4. Many experts are criticizing Danny Murtaugh for pitching Moose today. They think that Steve Blass should have gone, but Murtaugh's made some wonderful moves so far in this series. This is the 6th starter, by the way, for the Pirates in the series. And on the mound for Baltimore will be their 20-game winner, Jim Palmer.
Batting 8th and playing shortstop, number 2, Jackie Hernandez. Batting 9th and pitching for the Pirates this afternoon, number 38, Bob Moose, warming up on the sidelines. And here are the remaining players and coaches of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
One man left on, and so at the middle of the first inning, the score is Pittsburgh nothing, with Baltimore coming to bat. First baseman Bob Robertson, and the second baseman is Cash. Shortstop for the Pirates is Hernandez, and at third base, Rich Hebner. Out in left field, Willie Stargell, and the center fielder is Al Oliver, and the right fielder, the one and only Clemente. Catching, Manny Sanguillen, and on the mound is Bob Moose. Well, the Orioles, Buford, Johnson, Powell are the new batters to Bob Moose. Buford hitting 125 in this series, 2 for 16.
It'll be interesting, Chuck, to see if the Orioles are swinging more today. The Orioles were taking a lot of pitches over in Pittsburgh.
1-0 to Buford. Base hit. Well, Bob Moose, who just gave up the hit to leadoff swinger Buford, has been used twice in relief in this series, working in both previous games here in Baltimore. He pitched 3 2/3 innings in the first game, a run and 3 hits, and 1 was a home run by Buford. And then an inning in the second game, and he gave up 5 runs and 5 hits. And that was a game when everything Baltimore hit seemed to find an opening. Here is Dave Johnson, a 167 hitter on the year. More correctly, a 167 hitter in the World Series. 3 hits and 18 trips. Whoops, almost caught Buford leaning the wrong way with an excellent pickoff move from Bob Moose. That's a very important part of a relief pitcher's repertoire, and Moose has been used in relief. For that matter, it's a very important part of any pitcher's repertoire. Johnson waiting the first pitch. Strike 1. So Moose's ERA in the 1971 World Series in 4 2/3 innings, it figures out to about a little better than 11. But factually, that is history and does not necessarily apply to what could happen here today. 1 strike pitch to Johnson. Oh, 2.
Those are the kind of pitches that Blass, Bryles, Keeson were making over in Pittsburgh on the corners. Not much over the plate, but nibbling at those corners.
Now the 2-strike offering to Dave Johnson. Waste pitch, 1 2. We mentioned Palmer's birthday yesterday. Well, last Saturday, Bob Moose had a birthday. 24 years old. Palmer yesterday was 26. A little disturbing about those numbers for this reporter. 24, 26. Foul ball. Here is one of the more underrated players in the American League, Dave Johnson. He has consistently been an outstanding defensive performer for Baltimore, and certainly he has been a very consistent hitter for the Orioles. This will be a 1-2 pitch. Out of play. Johnson on the year for Baltimore hit .282. He had 18 home runs. He knocked in 72 runs. And he committed 12 errors in 142 games. Again, the 1-2 to Johnson. Out of play. Bob Moose, the kind of a fellow that normally will not give you a lot of free tickets. He's got pretty good control. In 1971, he averaged only 2.25 walks per 9-inning game. Discounting 12 intentional walks, his average would have been 1.5 per 9-inning game. So that's outstanding control. Well, Hebner, 1, 2.
Taylor-made double play ball. Hebner over to Cash. Cash has been doing some outstanding pivoting in this series as the middleman on that double play. Here's Buford going on into him. And Cash has hung right in there around the bag and nimbly hopped or skipped or tumbled out of the way and completed his throw to first.
Boog Powell, 2 out, nobody on, no score. Bottom of the first inning. Powell in the series hitting 111. Out of play. 2 hits in 18 trips. He has 1 run batted in. That compares to a seasonal mark of 256 with 22 home runs and 92 runs batted in that you look at right now. One and 1 the count to Powell. And that's quite a picture, Kurt.
Looks like Danny's taking a little nap in the first inning.
The 1-1 to Powell. Well, it may be out of play. Sanguillen gives it a look. It is out of play. The count, a ball and 2 strikes. Powell has done well in previous World Series competition. His high would have been in '66 in the 4-game sweep over the Dodgers. He had 357. Against the Mets, he had 263 and 69. Last year against the Reds, a 294 hitter. It's 1 and 2 to Powell. Now it's 2 and 2. And Earl Weaver. You'd have to say, I'm sure, the Oriole manager has to be this afternoon a little bit on pins and needles. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Powell, 2 out, nobody on, no score, bottom of the first if you just joined us. That's a foul ball, and Mr. Kibler, unfortunately, got that right on the foot. So Powell takes a little bit of a breather, and I think plate umpire John Kibler is enjoying a little respite right now, too. Had to sting. One base hit. There were no Pittsburgh errors and nobody left on. At the end of 1 inning of play, it is Pittsburgh nothing and Baltimore nothing. Well, the Pirates score first. And the Orioles now have gone 18 consecutive scoreless innings against Pittsburgh's pitching, which was not supposed to be able to match Baltimore's pitching. That's the 71 series figures in Frank Robinson. 2 home runs, 2 runs batted in. And that seemed to get Manny Sanguillen on the right leg, and he is a little uncomfortable. One strike to Frank Robinson. He'll be followed by Merv Rettenmund and Brooks Robinson. They are the new batters to Bob Moose in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Two strikes. Good breaking stuff from Moose. And that picture is worth 1,000 words. One gone, bottom of the 2nd inning, and the batter is Merv Rettenmund, a .222 hitter in the series, and one of his hits a home run. He has knocked in 4. That's the Rettenmund figure for the 1971 campaign.
Chuck, these Pirate pitchers are really picking the spots. You saw Sanguillen move to the outside and set the target for Moose, and boom, he hit it perfectly against Robinson.
He also wanted his center fielder, Al Oliver, to move over more to straightaway center field. Out of play, strike 1. That's the reason for the gesture on the part of Manny Sanguillen before Bob Moose's first pitch. Rettenmund has good power to right center, right field. And 1-1. Shortstop Hernandez. 2 down in the Orioles' 2nd inning. And here is Brooks Robinson, a .375 batter in the World Series with 4 runs batted in. And he also has committed 2 errors. Now 1-1 to Brooks Robinson. Moose ended the regular season with a 4-game winning streak, 3 of them in relief and 1 as a starter. The last time he lost was August the 7th to the Philadelphia Phillies, 5-3. Now it's 2-1. Two out, nobody on. Pirates 1, the Orioles nothing. Last half of the 2nd inning, game 6. 3-1.
Fans might notice how low Sanguillen works behind that plate. That's what a manager loves to see. Watch him. He looks like a snake in back of that plate.
This will be a 3-1 pitch to Brooks Robinson. Bob Robertson makes the play unassisted. The Orioles 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 2 complete innings, the score is Pittsburgh 1 and Baltimore nothing. World Series, it comes your way tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 Eastern Daylight Time, and then football, Cleveland at Cincinnati, San Diego at Denver. And in the Oriole third inning, Elrod Hendricks, Mark Belanger, and Jim Palmer.
And the sun trying to peek through, and Roberto Clemente has just asked for his sunglasses out of the Pirate bullpen. They've been brought out to him, and he's put them on.
And we're ready to go with Hendricks against Bob Moose. Moose gave up a leadoff single to Buford in the first inning. Strike one to Elrod. Then he got Johnson in the double play ball and Powell to right field, and has gotten everybody in order since the leadoff single by Buford. One and one now to Hendricks. Prior to the ball game, Kurt and I, talking about the Oriole position today, were recalling a remark that was made by Paul Richards and others in baseball many years ago when he said, "One thing I learned early in baseball is that you never say never." You just never know what can happen. The Orioles are down 2-0 in this most crucial Baltimore game. 1-1 to Hendricks. Here's Bob Robertson and another unassisted putout. Incidentally, if there will be no Game 7, if there is no Game 7, there will be a doubleheader, football doubleheader on NBC tomorrow.
Number 7, Mark Belanger.
Now, Chuck, the last 2 or 3 games, we've seen the Orioles hit those easy hoppers to the infield. And big lazy fly balls. They're not stinging the ball.
Well, the only time I can recall the Orioles played in this fashion, and this is not to detract in any way from Pittsburgh's pitching. Ball one. Early in the year, on their first West Coast trip, they really flattened out and went over a strand of 5 ball games where they averaged 5 hits a game. And they wound up a Western trip winning 5 and losing 7. Two 2-0 now to Belanger. But to a man, as we see Palmer in the on-deck circle, the Orioles have been tremendously impressed with the manner in which Pittsburgh's pitchers have worked. Not the overpowering stuff, the way they have used it. Now 3-0. How about that for a Kibler catch, huh? John, you're ready. Three and 1 to Mark Belanger. Well, Belanger breaks the string as Moose has issued his first walk. And now Jim Palmer. Coming into this inning now, the Orioles have not been able to score in the last 19 consecutive innings, and for that matter, they have picked up only 4 hits over the last 19 consecutive innings, coming into this one. It's about as futile as you can get. Here is Palmer. Strike one. That's Belanger's lead at first base, the second Oriole base runner of the game. 2 strikes to Palmer. 1-2. Not at all unusual to see Baltimore do that. They quite frequently will have the bunt on one pitch, take it off on the next, bring it back, take it off. And with the pitcher on the count of 2 strikes, it looked as though the bunt was in order on the last pitch. So Belanger will reach second on the sacrifice bunt by Jim Palmer. Two out, and Buford, who homered against Bob Moose earlier in this series.
Number 9, Don Buford.
In the very first game, Buford hit a home run off Moose. Well, Buford wants John Kibler to take a look at the baseball, apparently. Figuring that on the Palmer butt, it might have been, scarred or a blemish of some sort, and could possibly give Moose a little edge. It also gives Palmer another second or two to relax in the dugout. Ball 1. One nothing to Buford. 1-1. Again, I'll repeat the remark that as we look at the on-deck hitter Dave Johnson, that the Baltimore batters were not, they didn't say that Pittsburgh's pitching overwhelmed them, but they were tremendously impressed at the manner in which the Pittsburgh hurlers could put the ball where they wanted to and made so many good pitches. Now it's 2-1 to Buford. Out of play, and the count will be 2-2. Again, Moose moving the ball right in on the hands of Buford, and that's a fine sort of a pitch, if you can get it there. And of course, those of you who follow this game of baseball realize full well that if you miss a little bit with a pitch like that, get it out over the plate, it can also cause you all kinds of trouble. 2-2, the count to Buford. How about that for a pitch? For the Orioles in their half of the third, no runs, no hits, a man left on at the end of 3 complete innings. The score is Pittsburgh 2 and Baltimore nothing. Hernandez is really way around in the hole. Look where he is. They're giving up the entire middle to Johnson. 2 strikes on that foul ball. And with a count 2 strikes now, you see Hernandez is coming back more toward a normal shortstop position, but he's still cut to the hole against Johnson. One away. Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Dean Martin. Pretty good lineup of talent in any league, and each will host his own golf tournament that will be seen here on NBC early next year. Well, here's Powell. He's skied to the right fielder, Roberto Clemente. Time where we need shortstop Hernandez is trying to get the sunglasses on out at second base, and the alert second base umpire, Ed Sudol, said, hold it a minute. Let's make sure this man is ready. Kurt mentioned a little while ago, the sun is trying to break through. It's not really completely out yet, a little hazy and overcast. Strike 1. Moose, was kind of handicapped by elbow problems in '70 and also in 1971. You'd have to say, in the way he has worked through the first 3 innings plus, he's recovered. 1 Oriole base hit, a leadoff single by Buford. The only other Oriole base runner, a walk to Belanger in the 3rd. 1-1 to Powell.
Powell's 2 for 19, of course, has hurt the Oriole attack. He's a very important man in that order. He's had the bad hand in the series. That's probably hampered him. And Chuck told you he's had better series than this one.
Shortstop Hernandez in shallow right center, and he's got for the 2nd out. Here is Frank Robinson. He struck out against Moose in the 2nd inning. Clemente. That's the final out at the end of 4 complete innings of play. The score is Pittsburgh 2 and Baltimore nothing.
2. The only hit off him, Don Buford, who singled in the 1st. Fouled away.
Kurt, American League fans might ask, well, gee, didn't the Pirate or the Orioles see anything like this Pirate pitching in their '71 campaign? Yes, they did. A fellow with the Red Sox by the name of Sonny Siebert. He beat them 4 times without a defeat.
And the secret of this Pirate pitching is control. They're putting that stuff where they want to. They're not giving the Orioles any good pitches to hit. They're moving the ball around as 2-2. They're not overpowering Baltimore, but they're on the corners. They're in and out, up and down, no fat pitches. And the Orioles are just not getting solid pieces of the ball so far. More to pitching than to striking everybody out. The 2-2 delivery. 3-2. The Orioles have gone 21 innings in a row without a run. Could be a slump, too. They won 16 in a row. You know, the law of averages can go the other way. 3-2 pitch. Swung at that high fastball. That might have been close to a ball.
Kurt, if they don't get it straightened out pretty soon, they're going to have a terrible trip to Japan.
Yes, they leave right after the World Series for a month tour of Japan, playing the top professional teams. It'll be a long flight over, unless they rally. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Ground ball. Dave Cash brilliantly picked it up. His throw, he's got him. That's what the Pirates have been doing the entire series. Young Dave Cash.
Let's look at the Cash play once again. And notice that he did not hurry himself after getting to the ball. He took the time to set up and make the good throw and have something on it. And now let's watch Dave again. And watch again that he didn't rush this at all. He just took his time and got set up and then made the good throw. He'll continue. All right.
Brooks Robinson has a base hit to right field. Robinson is grounded out to first in his first hit. That's the 2nd hit now for the Orioles. The Pirates have 6 hits. Ellie Hendricks grounded out his first time. Our NBC scoreboard shows the Pirates ahead 2-0. The Orioles have 1 out with a runner on first. And they're still playing Hendricks as almost a dead pull hitter to right field. A ball to him. Now we're going to have some action for the first time in the Pirate bullpen. And surprisingly, one of the pitchers looks like Steve Blass. Oh, it's Johnson and Luke Walker. Bob Johnson is the right-hander, and Luke Walker. We wondered about that because Murtaugh's already announced that if it goes 7, Blass will pitch for the Pirates tomorrow. 2 balls and no strikes to Hendrick. A foul by the Orioles dugout and looks to be out of play. 2-1 to Ellie Hendrick. The runner at first, Brooks Robinson. Danny Murtaugh wasting no time getting his bullpen ready. Even though the Orioles have only 2 hits. There's a drive into left center. Over for it goes Al Oliver. Flags it down. Robinson plays halfway and goes back to first. Mark Belanger walked his first time.
Number 7, Mark Belanger.
He's had only 3 hits in 17 times. The Pirate dugout. Ball 1. Sometime in this series, Danny Murtaugh is going to show some emotion. I don't know when it's going to be.
I think, Kurt, the only time would be after he wins it, if he is able to do so.
Right, he's really unflappable. Ball 1 to Belanger. 2-0. Pirates leading 2-0 if you joined us late. Pirates scored in the second when Bob Robertson singled and Al Oliver, who doubled. Clemente hit a home run in the right field seats in the third, and that's been it. The 2-0 delivery. Inside, ball 3. And these Oriole fans now getting itchier and itchier by the innings, trying to vocally roar their hometown Orioles into some hits or runs. Brooks Robinson at first, 2 down. The 3-0 pitch to Belanger. Right in there to him, 3-1. Jim Palmer on deck, the Oriole pitcher. Ball 4, and the Orioles have runners on first and second. It's been rare for them lately. While we wait for Palmer to come up, I want to remind you that the Magic Kingdom of Walt Disney's World comes to life with help from Julie Andrews, Jonathan Winters, Glenn Campbell, and Bob Hope in a very special Friday night, October 29th, right here on NBC. Jim Palmer sacrificed his first time.
Number 22, Jim Palmer.
Not a bad hitting pitcher, is he, Chuck?
He is a pretty good hitting pitcher. Led the staff in runs batted in this year.
Brooks Robinson at second. Belanger at first, 2 down. Ball 1 to Jim Palmer. Earl Weaver. Ralph Savon, the Oriole trainer, whose niece and nephew called him in tears from Springfield, Massachusetts today because they couldn't get tickets to the series. The 1-0 pitch. They couldn't get him because Ralph couldn't get him. And that trainer can't get tickets. Must be tough. 1 ball, 1 strike. Baltimore has its first scoring threat. Runners on first and second, 2 away. A ball and 2 strikes to Jim Palmer. This is the first time the Orioles have had 2 men on at the same time since the first inning of the 4th game. And they scored those 3 runs. They have been blank since. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Struck him out on a curveball. Bob Moose pitches out of the jam. No runs for Baltimore. 1 hit, there were no errors, and 2 men left. We've gone 5 innings. It's the Pirates 2 and the Orioles nothing. Men left on. That's Billy Hunter now. Will he send up, hit, or take? 50 left on base was the old record for a 6-game series. 3-1 pitch. Moose comes in with a clutch pitch to make it 3-2. The bases are empty. Nobody out. Moose has walked 2. Walked Belanger twice. Rams it. Foul. Three and 2 to Don Buford. A high drive deep to right field. That one is going. It is gone. A home run.
Here is the Buford swing that gives Baltimore their first run on their 3rd base hit. And for such a little fella, as you see, he generates a tremendous amount of power. And here now, Dave Johnson.
Dave Johnson has hit into a double play and bounced out. The score now, Pittsburgh 2, Baltimore 1. A chopper charging. Hebner can't handle it. Johnson safe.
Well, here is something you've not seen much of in this Oriole-Pittsburgh series. A miscue on the part of a Pirate infielder. And you see it was right off the heel of Hebner's glove. And he has been charged with an error. And if ever the Orioles needed a spark, needed something to turn them around, it is, of course, here in this game. And it would appear that this could be the spark that could start them.
That's just the 2nd error by the Pirates in the series. The first in the infield. Al Oliver in the outfield committed the other error. Boog Powell up. Foul off. And he's still hitting the ball weakly. Not hitting those line shots that he's famous for. And we're getting action now in the Pittsburgh bullpen. It is Bob Johnson and Luke Walker. Johnson the right-hander, Walker the left-hander. The Orioles have finally scored after 22 consecutive scoreless innings. Inside to Powell, 1-1. They have Johnson on first, nobody out. 2-1. Pittsburgh ahead, last of the 6th. They have the shift on again against Powell. They've used that 3-man infield shift and the outfield overshifted against Powell and Ellie Hendricks all through the series. Missing inside. 2 balls and a strike to Boog Powell. Dave Johnson at first. The Oriole fans have come to life here in the 6th. Just missed with a breaking pitch. Powell had ideas, but changed up. 3 balls and a strike. Billy Hunter, the 3rd base coach. Bob Moose, who grew up 15 miles from Old Forbes Field. I asked him today if he used to go in and watch the Pirates play when he was a youngster. He said, no, I used to go hunting instead. An avid outdoorsman. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now going after that fastball, fouls it away.
And he has kept everything. Moose has just kept everything he's thrown to Boog right in on his fist. And a little different sort of a portrait now out of the Oriole dugout from manager Earl Weaver. But this man, he just doesn't change.
3-2. Will they start Dave Johnson? He's at first base. Nobody out. No. And it's a base hit in the right field. Johnson's coming to third. Fouls on first. Clemente throws to Robertson, who cuts it off. And the Orioles have runners on first and third, nobody out. That ball just eluded Bob Robertson, who's made some very fine fielding plays in this series at first base.
Well, you can take a look at it again, a game of inches, and this one just does get by Robertson, who is a very good fielding first baseman. Just got under the glove. And the Orioles, who definitely needed some kind of a break, some bit of help to turn them around, seem to have picked it up here in this last half of the 6th inning, starting with a Buford home run, and then one of the most infrequent Pirate mistakes in this series. And let's face it, errors are a part of the ball game, and Hebner had one just trickle off the glove. Now Powell has singled, and now the Orioles have the tying run 90 feet away, and Frank Robinson at the plate. And I believe that Verdon has already signed to the bullpen, and he would want the right-hander Bob Johnson, if I read the sign correctly. But the Pirate bullpen is not heeding the call of the umpire.
Bob Johnson.
Now
right,
Johnson
Chuck.
takes.
Well, we have a break in the action now, Baltimore, with a score. The Pittsburgh Pirates 2 and the Baltimore Orioles 1. Robert Dale Johnson